Hey, hello, and thanks for tuning into the How to Life podcast. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2022, and welcome to episode 87. For those of you new to my show, my name is Dr. Laur. I'm your host, and I'm so glad you're here. On this show, we talk about how to overcome some of those annoying things we're expected to know how to do in adulthood, even though no one ever taught us. Every week, I bring you some good information on how to be a more confident, secure, and happy adult. It can be challenging, but it's fun. It's even more fun when you have some resources to pull from. So I am here to help take the fear out of adulting. I really want to teach, guide, encourage, and inspire you along the way. Since it's a brand new year, I am going to talk about goal setting today. Many see the new year as a blank slate. A fresh start, a time to set new goals, and actually put some effort into making those goals a reality. And since motivation is usually at a high at this time of year, let's use that momentum to really make those resolutions stick, shall we? Personally, I have been making a goals list every year for the last 7 years. Before I started doing it, every year just sort of bled into the next. It was sort of a sloppy existence, just waiting for things to happen to me. Rather than directing my life, I just accepted whatever. It's been a good life, but at that time, I didn't know I had a say in how things turned out or that it could be better. So when I decided to give this goal setting thing a try, I was shocked at how possible my goals actually were. I was also shocked when I realized I hadn't been very deliberate about what I had wanted in the past. It was like going to a restaurant and saying, "I'd like some food, please." Right? If you do that, you're just going to get a blank stare or you'll get whatever. You have to say what you want. Like anything new, it takes some deliberate intent, but with practice, you'll find you get pretty good at it. It's just a formula and it's a mindset thing. And right now is the perfect time to start honing that mindset thing. Making a goals list is more than just thinking about what you want. Thinking's a good start. But those thoughts have to compete with the thousands of other thoughts that go through your mind on a daily basis. So I'm going to teach you how to go about setting your goals list. You can use this technique for any time frame. You can make a list of goals you want to accomplish this year, as I've done, or just one goal you want to achieve this month. You can make it as broad and general or as short and super specific as you'd like. The technique is the same. In order to reach your goals, all you have to do is follow this framework. It's an easy formula, and you probably do most of these steps at some point during the day anyway. You're just not doing it in an organized fashion. So let's get deliberate and focused. Here are the 7 things that I do to reach my goals every year. Number 1, it starts with thinking. Prior to wanting anything, we've been thinking about it a lot. And that's good because you want to make that daydream feel as real as possible. There are many that may say, if you don't think you can actually achieve it, maybe don't put it on your goals list. I disagree with that. If you have a goal that you want to reach now or eventually, put it on your list. Even if you think it's impossible, don't worry about that right now. An impossible dream is just one that you haven't developed enough yet. So thinking about it is actually how you start creating it. Dreaming is good, and I say dream as much as possible. It doesn't cost anything, and it's really important in developing the details of what you want. Details matter. And by that, I mean use your 5 senses. In your daydreams, what does it feel like to have what you want? Visualize yourself living as if the goal is achieved. How do you feel having achieved your goal? For example, let's say you want a certain car. You got to fill in the details. Start with, why do you want it? Actually, the fact that you want it is enough. So now go to, how do you feel having it? How do I feel having a new car? I feel happy, grateful, important, grown up. affluent, independent? What does the car smell like? The new car smell. That's the best. What does being in the car feel like? Maybe go and check out new cars, sit in them, test drive them, feel and see yourself in the car you want. What features do you want the car to have? Place your order. It's fun and it helps you define your order very specifically. The more details, the more real it feels. It is really fun to do this, but we humans have a tendency to be, quote, realistic. If you're like most, you probably have people in your circle who kind of bring you down because they want you to keep it real. To be fair, it's usually well-meaning, but it definitely will make you wobble while you're trying to reach for your goal. Maybe what they say is true, but I don't want reality to make you give up right away. If you really want something, it will happen eventually. If you want it faster, you will be willing to do things to actively bring it into your life. Maybe you'll get serious about saving money to put towards that car goal. You may want to consistently look at ads. I recommend you admire the cars of others. Look at them. Imagine yourself in them. Smile at the thought of being there soon. This can be a challenge because many people tend to feel jealous of others who have what they want. And that brings me to the second tip, gratitude and admiration. I've said it many times. You must be content with where you are in order to bring what you want into your life. Staying with the car example, if you feel jealousy that someone else has something and you don't, those negative feelings don't help you. When you feel bitter or sad or frustrated or impatient, you're focusing on lack rather than expecting abundance. That's why being grateful for what you have already sets you up to receive better. When you feel grateful, you feel happy. When you're feeling happy, you aren't focused on negative emotions at that moment. Gratitude is one of the tenets of my life philosophy. Your life just gets so much better when you're grateful. Gratitude is so important in achieving your goals. And so is number 3, writing it down. Dreaming is good, visualization is better, but at its core, a dream is just a wish. And wishes are wishy-washy. There's no plan behind them. Remember all those thousands of other thoughts that bombard your brain daily? In order to separate out the important things, like your goals, you really must write them down. Believe it or not, this might be a scary part for some of you. You've been thinking about them, you've been dreaming and visualizing, but writing them down sort of feels like committing. Maybe? You just need to decide when it's time to go for it. If now is not the time, then keep this goal in the dreaming visualization phase. Keep working it. You're still moving towards it. But if you have decided that you are ready to achieve this goal, the writing it down part is actually really exciting. It's the first big action step toward that goal. And I would urge you to do more than just list it down on paper. I would also say describe it. You've been visualizing the description, just write it down. Tell a story. Bring it to life with your words. This is the time to get specific. You can even set a deadline. For example, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. If you're a little hesitant about being so specific, put it down still, but be more general or give yourself more time. Like, I would like my pants to fit more loosely by the end of the month. That's more general. Your pants will fit better just by losing 5 pounds. It doesn't need to be so exact. Our minds, aka the peanut gallery, can really throw some garbage on our goals path. It happens to everyone, and if it happens to you, don't chuck the dream. Keep it alive in any form. That's why writing it down is making a statement. I want this. This is my goal. I'm going to do my part to achieve it and line up with it to make it mine. The next step, number 4, is to create a plan of action. You want to have a plan. Let's stick with the weight loss example. If you want to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, it is possible to just believe, and it will happen, But that usually only happens to the very advanced soul. And that soul probably didn't get to the point where 10 pounds were needed to be lost. So the rest of us not only need to focus, but we need to take some steps to create the belief that the goal is possible. For me, I know that eating better, eating purposefully and within boundaries is going to help. I also know that exercising is going to help. I know this from my studies and from my personal experience. If you're trying for a goal that's foreign for you and you need more information about it, learn, research, learn for yourself the whys. It's much easier to follow a plan if you know the details about that plan. Learn all you can about what steps you will be taking for any goal. You'll feel so much more in control and so much more a part of reaching your goal if you know the hows. If you find you need to define your action steps further, then write them out. Extend the plan. Number 5, if at all possible, is to create an end date, especially if your goal can be reached entirely because of your own effort, like weight loss or savings. If other people, things, or timing are in the way, be more general or more patient. If I want to sell my house, I'm going to have to deal with the timing of other people, the buyers, agents, banks, and that can slow it down. In those cases, being a bit more forgiving on the deadline may feel easier for you. But timeframes are very beneficial to help you focus. And the visual of a calendar or even awareness of the deadline can really help you kick it into gear. If you've done all these steps, you have really set yourself up for success. Now it's go time. Number 6, execute. Start taking the action steps that you set up and hit the reset button every day. Act as if every day is the first day of the goal challenge. If you look at it that way, it keeps the feeling fresh. And finally, I recommend regular check-ins with yourself. This can help you make adjustments to your action steps, or it can give you some motivation when you see that you're closer than you thought. It's one more way to keep the goal at the front of your mind and keep it a priority. When you have all the components in place to reach your goals, discipline, motivation, focus, a plan, you will find that you have a sort of relaxed certainty that the goal will be yours. That desperate desire or longing isn't really there because you've just created a straight path from where you are to where you want to be. Now, I know there are some skeptics out there. The goal is too big. It's unrealistic. I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. Stop it. If your desire is strong, if you're willing to commit, but you have some doubt, all is not lost. Just move more gently. Allow yourself a little bit of flexibility. Maybe not 10 pounds in 30 days, but 10 pounds in 45 days, or maybe 7 pounds in 30 days. Start smaller if you think your goal is unrealistic. Once you start acknowledging reality, you've kind of shot yourself in the foot. You will be doubting and second-guessing yourself. So start small if you must. The goal is to succeed. A reached goal is evidence that you can do it. It's a win. When you have a few wins under your belt, the bigger goals don't seem so big anymore. You will know you can do it because you have proof behind you. I also want to add in this pro tip. I think it's a great idea to make a checklist. If I know what I need to do to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, let's say, I make a list of things to do daily to get there. I look at that list in the morning to remind myself what I said I was going to do. I check off the boxes as I complete each task. It is really rewarding when at the end of the day, you know that you've done your part. It gives you satisfaction, motivation, and the desire to keep going. This is not just a New Year goals plan. You can do this at any time of the year. It could be daily even, and it could be for just one thing. I have 15 things on my goal list this year. Some can be achieved quickly. Some are a little more long-term. Some I want right away, and some I'm willing to wait until the timing is right. It is so fun to review your list at the end of your time frame and see how you did. Especially if you do a goals for the year list where you aren't checking it all the time. I am always surprised when I find that I have either met or surpassed what I set out to do. And sometimes if I didn't achieve a goal within the time period and I still want it, I'll put it on next year's goals or the next month or the next week. Are you excited to write out your goals list? It is really fun. Ready? Let's do it. I've been asked by several people to show them how to do this or to work through it with them, actually. So in response, I will be launching a course very soon, which will include a video tutorial, a live workshop, and some Q&As with me to help you learn how to do this. And of course, there'll be a lot of celebration when you reach that goal. It's always easier when you have a mentor and a team as well. There will be a form on my website very soon about that, so keep an eye out. And in the meantime, I have some other podcast episodes and mominars that relate to goal setting. I mentioned gratitude. Episode 2 is the benefits of keeping a gratitude list. And episode 28 is the gift of gratitude with the gratitude app founder, Pritesh Sankhe. He's such a great guy, and I love that episode, and I love his app. I use it myself, and it will change your life for the better. I just cannot recommend it enough. In episode 80, Wendy Pitts-Reeves talks about how to create a plan of action to do big things that scare you. Her D7 framework correlates very nicely with the steps that I have outlined in this episode. And if you want to see my face, I have a mominar that I did called How to Get Started on Anything. It'll help you prepare for your own goals list. I will post the links for all this content in this episode's show notes, which will be howtolife.com/087. In fact, you can see all of the adulting content I produce directly on my website, howtolife.com. Stop by, take a look, and make sure you say hi. Whatever platform you find me on, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm on a mission to help you soar and to help take the fear out of all this adulting stuff. That's all for today. Take care, everyone. Thanks for starting the new year with me. Let's kick it this year. Clean slate, fresh start. You're awesome. All the ingredients you need to crush your goals. Do it. You got this.